Alright, welcome back. And here it's going to be the Chapter 5 tutorial. Also the final boss, or Alice Madness Returns any percent for the speedrun. So let's just jump right into it. Right at the start you kind of want to wait until after the cutscenes to hold the direction, because otherwise your camera kind of screws up. But then you just hold basically straight to the right. Alright, so in this room that's coming up, if you skip the cutscenes as fast as possible, you'll actually get an extra load screen. I'm not really sure why, I just know you do. So what you want to do is wait about a second for each cutscene before you skip it, and then you'll be totally fine. So something like this. And then after the cutscene, you want to go neutral stick during the cutscenes, otherwise your movement and controls will be really screwed up. But yeah, from here on out, you can just skip the cutscenes as fast as you can with no issues.
I know.
Which way's up and which way's down?
I was gonna say,
No players.
don't interrupt. If I can't...
Go to the lavatory.
Maddening.
Yes, you are. But what am I?
I'll give you...
Alright, so coming up here, hello wave guy. This guy's so happy, he always waves. Coming up here, after you go through this doors and get through the cutscene, you want to hold generally down left, maybe a little bit more left than down, but for the most part, down left will be pretty good. And that should get you to this cutscene. And then there is an invisible wall if you're walking this way. Not sure why. So you kind of have to walk around it. Alright, so right at the start there's two routes. Faster route would be going off to the left to hit that vent, and then you can take that vent, and with 3 jumps and a glitch jump you can make it. Slower route would go around that way. It's a lot slower though, so in general I would recommend doing it, but if you have a lot of trouble getting to this vent, then you can do it this way. Alright, and either way, you'll get up to here. So what you want to do is make sure you jump on top of this spring, don't hit it from the side. And then 2 jumps and a glitch jump to land you on top of this wall. And then you can jump down here and go here. And now instead of walking through the keyhole, just jump around to the right. 3 twirls and dash gets you there. And at this point you've already skipped a pretty significant portion of the level. Try and switch to your teapot here so that you can shoot this wall and hit this lever. Shoot this wall if it would let me aim. to break the floor there. And again, you're going to want to take care of the drifting ruins right away. I mean, part of that is just because you have to wait for the other guy to throw stuff at you before you can actually do any significant damage to him. But also just because drifting ruins are really, really annoying. And now for the doll girl. This is one of the most annoying enemies in the game. If she breathes fire, try and jump behind her and hit those screws with the teapot cannon to knock off her arms. So that way she can no longer defend herself. And there we go. Wasn't too bad. Because you can take off her arms when she breathes fire, it makes the RNG a lot less punishing than it would be, but it's still very, very annoying. Alright, so this jump is a jump I would definitely recommend putting some practice into. You can make it with just 3 twirls. If you have some troubles with that, add in a glitch jump. Just to be careful. That skips a lot of time in killing those enemies and doing a bunch of other stuff. And now you can skip that whole area over there as well in hitting that switch just by 3 good twirls and a dash to get you across to the other thing. And you can drop below that thing to make sure it doesn't get in your way. You can already see why the doll girls are some of the more annoying enemies in the run. They're very RNG based, and they can lose you a lot of time with bad RNG. You want to switch to the pepper grinder here to shoot this. And then from here, go ahead and hit this vent, and then go ahead. You can land on this little platform by the wall. And then nice easy jump to get over to here. Alright, so for this section, I'm gonna show the bounds again. If you see that little green square through the window, that is a death barrier. So I'm gonna try and hit that from underneath the stairs. And the way I do that is with jumping, delaying the first twirl, and then 2 quick twirls. Well, I guess jump, delay the first twirl, have Alright. So in general, I prefer to kind of ignore the menacing ruin once I've taken off his arm. Or taken off his protection things. because everything else is just a lot more threatening. Like Drifting Ruins and Doll Girls can both lose a lot of time. Menacing Ruins aren't too threatening at all. Alright, so for this section, I guess I'll just show the easiest way through because there's no significant time difference between different routes. Just come over here, land here, now the kind of disadvantage to this route is that you have to worry about the enemy spawns, so just watch out where you're walking, because those guys will spawn the damage that sticks around, and that can be a problem. You kind of get stun locked. Alright, so for here, let's go ahead and drop that there, and then just jump across. You can use the tooth for reference if you're not sure about where the invisible platforms are. And then in this area, I like to get the box here first before I do this fight. The reason being that in general there's a little bit of a delay before the Menacing Ruin will throw the fireballs. So you would end up just sitting around waiting for him to throw the fireballs anyways. So might as well instead spend that time getting the other box. And here, as long as you get the glitch jump there, it doesn't matter too much if you actually make it up onto the platform, as long as you're close. As long as you're close, you will get a checkpoint to spawn you on top of that platform. And now this area, depending on what your cycle is, you can either go right away off of that one, or you can wait and try and jump over to one of these platforms and then jump over here. Alright, so now it's time for the doll heads. That was really weird. This section was not very well tested, and you can definitely tell when you play it. Everything feels very clunky. Movement isn't smooth. The areas, in some cases, can make things a lot more difficult. So just be careful. In this area, just don't hold anything at the start, so that you make sure you actually get that speed pad. And then you can kind of go between those two stairs to get down here faster. And then kind of aim right there to skip that loop thing. So be kind of careful about hitting the other doll heads. If you can avoid it, it's worth not hitting them, because you do lose speed whenever you hit one. But don't, go out of your way to hit it. And then on that wheel, just hold all the way to the left and then for like a second, and that'll... okay. Yep, there's an area where it's just not tested very well. But yeah, on this wheel you can... Wow, that was a great spawn point. Yeah. This is... Remember when I said this area wasn't very well tested? There we go. That'll work. Alright, so there is a pretty major skip in this area. I will show two methods of getting it, and then also what you should do if you're not going to do the skip. However, the first part of the skip, I'm just going to recommend that everyone does, because it saves a very, very long time, and it is very easy. So the first part of the skip, you just kind of want to get down to this part of the slide. The first part of the skip is an edge jump off of here. And then the reason I landed right here is just to show you how easy it is. You don't have to like get over it, you don't have to get around it, you just need to get to here. And then from here, you can jump around that wall. Drop down to here. I understand it's very, very dark right now, so kind of bear with me. Let me see if I can raise the brightness at all. Yeah, that's better. Hopefully you can see this a little bit better now. But now that you're down here, you want to stay basically along this. This is the wall that we came from, so stay along the left side. And then you can jump over to this little platform on the right, and then jump down here, and you'll hit a death plane. So that is the part that I would recommend that everybody does. And now I'm going to show two setups for the skip, and what to do if you're not going to get the skip. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this checkpoint. You normally wouldn't do that if you're going to do the skip. It's just a safety thing to make it easier to get back to. Also, I guess I can demonstrate. There are a couple scenarios where you will end up in here and you won't be able to walk out the normal way. The way you recover from that, if you still want to try the skip, is you kind of walk against this corner and when you're shrunk, and just walk diagonally along the wall, and it will clip you down, and you can just keep holding forward to hit that death plane. But anyways, if you are going to do the skip, you need to jump over here, and then you want to get on top of this window. And then from this window, you want to jump over to this wall. Now, the version of the skip that I do from here, you're going to jump over into this corner. Don't like run right up to the corner, just somewhere around it. Look straight down. And then jump up until the wall despawns. And then right now I'm holding direction list on my left thumbstick. And then once you get up to the top here, you want to hold forward. 3 jumps and a glitch jump will usually get you up on top of that wall. I was a little bit off, so I'll show it one more time. Alright. So the method I do is all about controlling your camera. Oh, I should also mention, once you start jumping for that wall, you want to hold a little bit to the right, because it's the wall that you're jumping to is actually right about Like, it's straightforward from right about here. The reason I don't do the trick from here is because there's an invisible wall in front of it that would stop me. So instead I do it from here. And there we go. That is more of what it's supposed to look like. I guess I'll show the rest of the trick from here. So from here, you're just gonna go straight forward. Right here, there's a wall. So you have to jump on top of the wall. And then... and here. Jump into here. And then you want to look... I guess the easiest way to do it is to go up here. You want to look kind of parallel with this wall. Jump out. And then really slow go forward. And then float on the last jump. Really, really slow jumps, because if you do it too fast, you can fall through this ceiling, and that's a bad time. So, from here you can just jump out forward, and that'll finish the skip. But I'll show the other setup for it first. The other setup starts out the same. Just jump on this mirror. Actually have good jumps. And then, instead of going out across the other side, you can jump on top of here. Ideally, that wouldn't happen. I was aiming, I guess, a little bit too high up, or I was looking too far down, so my camera was too high. So what you want to do is look a little bit up while you're doing this, instead of looking like down a little bit. Alright, so now you're on here. What you want to do is jump across to the other side, and that'll despawn the wall. And from there it's basically the same. You're going to climb up the wall, and then you're going to jump across over in that direction to get to the same wall. But you get to see it, you get to see things a little bit better with this version. Because you don't need to worry about the camera as much. So you can see exactly when you can make it. And then it's the same from there. So I guess if you're not going to do the skip, what you want to do, you'll end up in here. So you do not need to lower that thing. You can make it across just by jumping across. You can make it without the glitch jump. If you have some issues making it without the glitch jump, then just go ahead and add a glitch jump in. And then you'll make it easy. And then stand on this switch before dropping the clockwork bomb to trigger that cutscene, and give yourself a little bit more time. You're gonna shoot this thing. And what you want to do is jump kind of around that. You want to jump past that wall and then dash to the left to get into there. And then that skips a big portion of this area. Alright, so around this area, it's pretty likely that you'll be able to upgrade your teapot cannon again. So I'm going to do that here. I'm only going to upgrade it to 3 because that's as far as you're likely to get in a run. And then just try and kill the doll girl as fast as possible. Alright, so this area is the reason why that skip that I just did is called 666 skip. Because it skips this puzzle, the 666 puzzle. But this area is kind of weird. I went for a jump that it's possible to make, but pretty difficult. So here, what we're gonna do is shoot this thing without getting carried off by the wooden platforms. Just by standing up against this wall, the wooden platforms will be able to carry you off. Okay. And then just try and time your shots to get this to work. And now we've caught up with the skip. Alright, so there's a skip right here. I'm going to recommend you learn it because it saves a lot of time. And it's pretty simple. Basically, you're going to edge jump off of this slide. If you get enough speed, you don't actually need to glitch jump to get up here. You can do it with just 3 regular twirls, but you can always glitch jump just to be safe. And then from here, oops, you do need the glitch jump there. Like, you will always need a glitch jump to make that jump. That's pretty simple. And then from here, it's just 3 really slow twirls and a dash will get you onto here. And then you want to make sure you're looking out to the left a little bit here, because otherwise these walls will despawn once you jump down here. And then you can just kind of dash forward. Once you get here, you want to despawn everything and then jump into this glass thing. So look off to the right. Alright, I screwed that up a little bit. Didn't get far enough into the last thing. Try it again. Look off to the right, and then just jump into the glass thing. Simple. Once you're inside, you can climb up to the top, which lets you jump onto this platform. And then from here, Just straight forward. Alright. Ideally you want to get over that wall, because it saves a little bit of time. But if you fall, it's not a huge deal. Just go ahead and jump over here to hit this death plane, and it will respawn you over here, much further in the level. And you want to go along the left side of this wall, because it has the fewest things that fall out, so you can stay on the ground more. So if you did the skip earlier and you didn't level up your teapot, this would be the place to do it. Game? There we go. Actually, that probably wasn't my game. That was probably my controller. My controller wasn't accepting A inputs for a little bit. My controller's A button is a little bit wonky. Alright. So once that fight is done, you can just spawn the elevator. And now this area has some very annoying fights that I am going to skip, because it's very easy to skip them. And I would highly recommend you learn to skip them too. So for this fight, all you have to do is go all the way over to the right, and then kind of jump around this building. Float. You can glitch jump if you want, you don't have to. As long as you get past that, like, pillar thing, it'll spawn you up here, and then... So that's a thing you can do. If you do everything very, very well, you can keep your speed through that cutscene, but it's very, very hard to do. I've done it twice. Then just move on. And then for this area, there is another skip for this fight. What you want to do is jump over to this side, jump on this plastic cake thing, and then just jump near the wall as high as you can. And when you get around the middle, you should be able to hit that trigger for the music thing. And now it's time for the second doll head. And this one really, really shows off how little they tested these things. Like, there's that, where you just randomly lose speed for no particular reason. And then there's this, which is very, very close to impossible to get first try. What you want to do is aim very slightly to the right. Well, slightly to the left, I guess. And that gives you your best chance. But yeah, nope. Because the doll heads that you hit take away your speed, it becomes almost impossible to get this jump first try. second try it. As long as you can get all the doll heads, second try shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to be racing against the clock to hit a cycle, so I'm going to go pretty fast here. Basically you just kind of have to be careful about your angles. Alright, I'm on pace for the cycle now. Basically you need to hit this one in time to make that moving cycle. And then if you don't move the aim on that at all, you can make that cycle. And I'll show what happens if you don't make the cycle now. Oh, right, I forgot that it puts me all the way back here. That's great. Oh, that was cool. Like I said, randomly lose speed for no reason. That one I bonked down to nothing. Yeah, that made it first try. That is possible to do, but it is incredibly difficult. Like, it is very, very precise to get that on first try. Alright. Let's say I get caught up in this thing, and I miss the cycle to make the first thing. Oh no, I hit the thing. Oh no, I hit the thing again. Now I won't make the cycle. So now, still basically the same up for a little bit. You get into here. You made that, but you can't make that cycle. So instead, you want to get into this thing. And go ahead and shoot into there. There's another thing you can do, which I'll show off. If you don't want to wait for the space to show, you don't have to. You can just kind of shoot it into here and hold right, and then just be careful not to drop too fast, because anything to the left of this platform is a death plane. So even if it looks like you can make it, a lot of the times it'll kill you. And then it's just up to the top. Alright, so there is a skip in this area. I'll show it and then do the normal route. So by holding all the way right, left, and then not charging the cannon all the way, you can kind of get around this thing up to the top. That's a lot more difficult than I just made it look. If you do it a little bit too strong, you'll hit the bottom of the wall. If you do it too weak, you won't be able to get up all the way up. But now you can just go straight right. Just hold straight right on the controller. And then once the camera changes, you can adjust where you're going. And then you hit here. And I did purposely dodge that cannon. If you do it right, you'll hit the cannon, and then you can just move on. So from the beginning, here's what it's going to look like if you don't do the skip. It's basically the same for the start, and then you just don't try for it. Ideally, you can kind of land on one of these things, as it lets you skip some cycles. Those gingerbread wall things also lose you speed, so be careful about those. And then just don't adjust the angle on these cannons. So something that can happen is you don't get enough speed from this boost pad to make it up. You do have to go all the way around the boost pads to be able to get enough speed to make it all the way up. So you need to get back around them and then hit the boost pads, and that'll let you up. Alright, so there is a skip in this area. Again, I'll show the skip, and then I'll show the regular route if you don't do the skip. So, for the skip, you're going to go ahead and take the slides like this. Make sure you drop low enough so that you don't hit the ceiling there, and you are going to need a glitched extra. There is a backup where you can jump from that platform over to here, but it is very, very, very hard. So don't expect it. Like, if you do hit the ceiling and you have to try for it, you can try for the backup from that platform, but just don't expect to make it. It is very, very difficult. But yeah, once you're on top of here, just try and jump on top of this, and then really delay your jumps, and then float for the third one to land here. And then from here, you can jump forward, shoot this thing, and move on. So what you're going to do if you don't want to do that skip is, instead of getting on the slide, you're going to jump around it. Land down at the bottom. And hopefully this guy will throw a rock right away. Or a fireball. That was not exactly what I was hoping for. So hopefully he'll throw a rock again pretty soon. You need to get a little bit of distance to be able to deflect it. Alright, so once you've killed that guy, what you want to do is jump over into these spikes, take some damage. So that you can get into Hysteria. And that'll let you mop up these guys pretty quickly. And that's that fight done with, so you can just wait over here. And now you're caught up to what the skip would be at. There is a point in the middle of that room where it will just stop you from dashing for no particular reason, so just jump dash over that. Now we're just going straight to the end of the level, and then all we'll have left is the final boss. Careful, don't jump dash in this area because the camera can really fuck you. Just do dashes because you can't fall off of a ledge when you're just dashing. Alright. Now just going to the final boss. For this first section, you can just dash straight forward. You'll have to adjust at the end, and then this one, you'll have to go around that pillar. And then on the last one, you can just dash straight forward until you can see Alice again. And then you'll have to adjust, because otherwise you'll hit a wall. And then there's a lot of cutscenes to start with. So, if you're on easy, it is possible to one cycle this hand, but it is actually pretty difficult. Yep, didn't get it. I'm not sure exactly what causes him to go up right away, but it is possible to one cycle the hand. If you do, it saves about 20 seconds. And then just make sure you don't get hit by this attack. Alright, so the second hand is actually a lot easier to one cycle. I'm not sure why. Like I don't really understand exactly how this boss's health works. But for some reason the second hand just sticks around a lot longer and lets you one cycle him. Alright, so for this section he'll try and grab you, but if you're right up next to the hands, he actually can't. So what you want to do is just walk right into him. And he can't get you. Totally fine. Alright, so what you want to do here is time your attacks. The first three don't matter too much, but for the last one, you want to time your attack to hit the ground right there, because if you're too late there, he'll pull his tongue up and then you won't be able to hit it. And then you just walk to the end. So, that is it for the Chapter 5, and I guess you could call it Chapter 6 tutorial. I hope to see some new people running any percent soon. That would be awesome. Until then, if you have any questions, once again, shoot me a message on Twitch, twitch.tv/kinkykadence, or let me know in the comment section below, and I will answer them whenever I get a chance to. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm very glad to have gotten this finished. And I will see you later.